Hello, this tutorial is covering the interviewing strategies and questions that students are going to use for their career-based research paper project. It is expected that students conduct some type of interview, whether it's a face-to-face interview through their job shadow experience, a phone interview, or an email interview. So let's get started. Students were told several aspects and guidelines that they were going to be expected to look for and incorporate in their interview. Again, the three types of interview would be either a phone interview or an email interview, or if students are opting for the job shadow experience, they will be conducting a face-to-face interview. So what makes a great interview or great interview questions? There are three components that the English 11 PLC has discussed with the team. First aspect, questions are relatable to the content of your subject in your project. For example, careers. So all questions obviously have to be related to the career topic. Part 2. Questions are asked that cannot be easily found on the internet or via another source. Third part. Questions are specific to the four subtopics of the project. Prompt reminder. You must choose one specific field for the research paper process. There should be no hyphenated or hybrid careers such as singer-songwriter, mega mogul, clothing designer. Thus, the four components of your chosen career to investigate will look like the following. Your four aspects of your paper: history and evolution, issues related to the chosen career, the future projection of your job, and the service learning and service components of this career, such as internships, scholarships, fundraising activities, charitable events, and foundations that assist the community. So the assignment that students were asked to do is we were giving them a packet of interview questions. They were to highlight and use an arrow to mark questions that they felt would be pertinent for their interview. Again, they were asked to remember, don't choose interview questions to ask your interviewee that you could have easily found in another source. So it could have been found in a print source or through a web source or using a media source. Then don't choose to use that time to ask the interviewee that. You want to ask him or her questions that would be a little harder to obtain, such as issues pertaining to the issues of your career, or the content and aspect of the future projection, or service learning. Some of those aspects tend to be a little bit more difficult to find in print sources, so you wouldn't want to spend a lot of time asking them questions about history and evolution, because you can easily find that in the print source. Let's talk about some of the specific questions we went over in class. Next, interview questions. These were questions that we found to be really great use as a springboard. Obviously, students would ask other questions as they go along, and it is expected that they conduct follow-up interviews with their specific mentor and training as they go along. Using the guidelines presented earlier, we discussed specific questions on our packet that we would want to include as part of our interviewing strategies. You'll notice there are lots of questions that could be asked during a career day activity or during a job shadow, but we feel that for our specific topic, the ones we highlighted will be the best starting place. How will your current position lead to future advancement? What challenges are currently faced by you or your department or organization? What are the current challenges faced by the industry? That's all talking about issues and future projection. As we scroll down, you'll see again there are several questions you could ask. Some are too general, meaning some are ones you probably could find using another source. You want to spend the best effective time you can with your interview. You don't want to ask a lot of questions that would veer you too off topic, or ones where they wouldn't really assist you with what you're trying to do. Remembering your 4 topics in mind, we're thinking about the ones that would really, really get you the information quickly. These last few questions, you're asking for assistance from your expert. So when you ask your expert questions, you want to see what they know and what further information they can give for you. So by asking them about recommendations for future sites, employment agencies, professional journals, specific employer directories, and other people you could ask for, so further experts in your field, these questions really ask you or force you to ask your interviewer or interviewee other resources, because you may not know all the websites. You will not know at this point all the professional journals and other people to whom you could speak. So you're going to ask your experts those pertinent questions. Next up, next slide. The second source, we discussed again some pertinent questions that we thought would be really some to start off with a little bit more than others. Again, we're suggesting that you really streamline your questions so that it covers the 4 aspects of the prompt. Again, none of these questions are incorrect, but you don't have a lot of time to ask every question. So you've got to look at what is going to be the best use of your time. Again, a lot of these questions you could find in another source. So let's scroll down to some of the ones we thought were going to be really great. And this would have been pages 2 and 3 of your packet. Company's future. That's going to help you with that future projection. Professional development. That's going to help you with education and licensing. What are some things you have to do in order to keep your job or for professional development? Use of technology. That's how your company has evolved and changed. That's under history and evolution. The current changes, that's part of that future projection and issues portion of your project. Person progressing in the field, typical career path, that's going to help you with that third category as well, issues, advancements. So some of these questions are asking similar things in different ways. So it's up to you to choose which way you want to ask those questions. This would serve as page 3 as your packet. The economy. There's a specific portion of your project talking about the economy. Outlook, future projection. How is the field growing? Social obligations and organizations you're expected to join, that is part of that package about the culture, climate. Do you need to have a license? Do you need to speak another language? So there's a section in your project where you need to discuss those. Salary ceiling, that's the same type of thing of, is your job stagnant? Can you have room for advancement? Other types of credentials or licensing, you definitely want to ask that question. And this question was mentioned on the previous page or previous packet. Do you have advice for someone interested in the field? Written materials. You always want to come away with other sources, other people you can contact who would assist and serve you. So those were the interview questions that we discussed in class. We did spend a couple days discussing and reviewing the questions, determining what's going to be the best use of our time when we conduct our own personal interviews via phone, email, or face-to-face contact. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.